You guys ready to tackle a brand new problem? If you want to code along, make sure to hit the link in the description below. It's time to pop our daily dose of code. Hey guys, today's problem has been asked in Uber, and this problem involves the most fundamental of concepts, that is the squaring of a number. That's all you need to solve this problem. So let's get straight into it. Sort those squares. You are given a sorted array ARR. Your task is to sort the squares of each element of the array. Your input is n, the length of the array, and the array itself. Your output is a sorted array of squares. Here you can see we've got an array with 5 elements. These are the 5 elements, and this is the output. Let's have a closer look. There's not much to explain really in the problem. This is the array 4, -4, -1, 0, 3, 10. The squares of each element are 16, 1, 0, 9, and 100. If we sort those squares, we're going to get 0, 1, 9, 16, and 100. Self-explanatory, the entire problem really. Let's look at the constraints as well. 1 less than equal to array.length less than or equal to 1000, -1000 less than equal to array of I less than equal to 1000, and the array is sorted in ascending order or in increasing order. The length of the array can range between 1 and 1000. Each element in the array can go between -1000 and 1000, and the array is in ascending order. I'll leave the screen open. I don't want you guys to just look at the solution right away. Pause the video here, think about it a little bit. We'll get back to it really shortly. Now, guys, it's hint time, the time you've all been waiting for, in case you haven't already got it. Now, let's imagine the constraint said that there were no negative numbers. The numbers were only positive. In that case, it would be a cakewalk. Why? What is 1 square? Let's just iterate through the array once from left to right. What's 1 square? 1 square is 1. What's 7 square? 7 square is 49. What's 8 square? 64. Finally, 10 square, 100. The answer is already sorted. There's nothing we have to do. If there are no negative numbers, the result array is automatically sorted through one single iteration. And on the flip side, if we were to have only negative numbers, then what would happen? We can see here, 7 square is 49, 5 square is 25, 3 square, 9, 2 square, 4. Here we can see the arrays are sorted in decreasing order. So if we wanted to sort it in increasing order, all we'd have to do is move from right to left instead of left to right. So start the I loop from length -1 and move it on to 0, I minus minus. Now we know how to solve two smaller parts of the problem. But in our actual problem, it's neither of these, or rather it's both of these combined. We've got both negative and positive numbers in a sorted order. Now your goal is to figure out how to break that bigger problem into smaller problems. Have a gander, take a look, think about it. Be back again really quick. Now, just by looking at the screen, a lot of you would have already got the answer. The clue is to split the mother array into two child arrays, one having all the negative numbers, one having all the positive numbers, and 0. 0 you can put in either one really. So here what we're going to do is have two pointers, one pointing to the end of the negative array and one pointing to the beginning of the positive array. Next, what we're going to do is compare their absolute values. Their absolute values means we're going to ignore the sign. So even if the number is -1, we're going to treat it like it's positive. Even if it's +3, we're going to treat it like it's positive. Every number becomes positive. An alternate way to do it is by comparing the squares. What's the higher absolute value between -1 and 0? The higher absolute value is 1. So we're going to take 0 squared, the minimum element, put it into our result set and move that up by 1. So 0 squared is 0. We put it into our result and we move the positive pointer to the next element. Now between 1 and 3, which has the lower absolute value, it's 1. So we take 1 squared, put it into our result set, and we move the negative pointer down by 1. Between 4 and 3, we know 3 is smaller. We put 9 into our result. We move our positive to the next element. 10 and 4, again, 4 is smaller. So 16 comes into our result. Now negative has reached the end of its array. So whatever is left in positive, we're going to just dump into our result array. We're just going to dump those squares into our result array. Now the only number left in our positive array, fortunately, is 10. So we're going to put 10 square into our result. That is 100, 100. And that's the result. That's how you generate it. So the basic algorithm, split mother array into 2 child arrays, negative and positive. Have 2 pointers, one pointing to the beginning of positive, one to the end of negative, and constantly move up the lower element, the element which has the lower absolute value, until you reach the end of both arrays. Now let's go and take a look at the coding part. Here we can see the meat of the code. It's a little longer than the code we've seen in the previous videos, but don't worry, there's nothing too complicated about this. First, initialize the result, positive and negative, as empty arrays. Now we're going to fill up positive and negative. If the number is less than 0, put it into negative. If it's greater than 0, put it into positive. We have to assign positive index to the beginning of our positive array and negative index to the end of our negative array. If the square of the positive number is less, we're going to put that positive number into our result array and move positive up by 1. If the square of the negative number is less, put negative into our result array, move negative down by 1, which is why it's negative index minus 1. This repeats until any one reaches the end of its respective array. And these 2 loops are to catch the remaining elements, the runaway elements. Those elements that have not been accounted for, these 2 loops account for them. So whichever pointer has not reached the end of its respective array is going to reach the end of its array because of these 2 loops. Finally, we return result and we compile and test. Let's see if it works. As we can see, our sample test cases have been passed, always a good sign. Once we hit submit, does it withstand the true test? Perfect. All 5 inputs have been accepted. They've been done in a time of 0.1 seconds, pretty good. And that's the solution to the question. Sort those squares. If you like the video, you know the drill. Do what you've always been doing. Support us every way you can. Hit like, subscribe, and the bell icon. And also, leave your comments down below. Any queries, any thoughts, any doubts, any confusion you might have, or any suggestions. Just put it down there. We'll always take a look at it, and we always know what you're saying. We like interacting with our audience a lot. That's been Vivek Kallur, guys, from Hackerearth, and I'll see you guys next time.